Hi, it is Monday, the 13th of June, 2022, and it's about 2 in the morning right now, so it just became Monday. Um, I drove back from Vegas yesterday, and I seem to have some kind of, I don't know, food poisoning or stomach bug that I've caught, and so I was mostly laid up in bed, and it was a really rough drive home, but I did make it home, thank God, and I just been resting for like the last 14 hours and trying to process this, but I don't know if I'll be able to go to work today, or if I'm going to need another day to recover, because I'm still feeling it's still not fully sorted out, so I might be taking the day off work today, and looks like it could be an interesting day in the financial markets. I'm a little concerned that the money, like this bank situation I got right now, I need to get some money deposited and get out of the bank, and this might not happen till Tuesday or Wednesday, and it's kind of scary to be waiting on that on a Black Monday type deal. It's like, because the chances of like a bank holiday where the bank shuts down, says you can't get your money out, is higher today. So I've left myself in a little bit of a precarious spot that I'm kind of feeling a little trepidation. But we've had market moves before, and so far the banks haven't shut down. We'll just see how bad it gets Monday, Tuesday. Bitcoin is down to like 24,000, so it's crashed pretty big. And the crash is part of it is there's this whole scam deal that's gone on with this, what's it called, Celsius or whatever. But also the crash was prompted by this inflation report. See, inflation was running hotter than expected, and so the market reaction to that is that interest rates rise, long-term rates especially, because investors need to be compensated for that inflation risk. And so as rates go up, people who own Bitcoin, and other assets, I mean, all these tech stocks, all these other speculative assets, a lot of these prices have been inflated because people have had cheap access to credit, and they have leveraged positions. So as rates rise, it becomes more expensive to borrow money to buy Bitcoin, and so the prices crashed. And so really there's a cause and effect between higher than expected inflation and Bitcoin's price decreasing, which means that it's not an inflation hedge. Now you could say to a degree, gold has a similar property where when interest rates rise, people tend to sell gold thinking, oh, I can get a better yield. That's a different phenomenon than what's going on with the crypto market. So in the crypto market, when rates rise, it's a deleveraging going on, and it's people having to liquidate positions, margin calls, and all this that are happening. With gold, what's happening is people are dumping gold as a safe haven, thinking, oh, bonds are going to be a better safe haven because they're paying a higher yield. Well, that whole narrative is incorrect, because bonds are not a safe haven. And the entire basis of modern day financial valuations and everything is that the idea that the 10-year treasury is a risk-free rate. Well, it's not a risk-free rate. It's a very high-risk rate, because if you're getting 3.2% on a 10-year treasury and inflation's running at 10%, you're losing purchasing power. you're also taking on default risk that the government won't be able to repay that debt, which is a reasonable risk to consider when you consider that the government operates at a deficit every year and increases its debt. So at some point, the bond markets, it's gonna continue collapsing, and there will come a point where people no longer feel safe with bonds, and whatever money is left there to be dumped is gonna buy gold, and it's a true safe haven, and we are entering a true crisis where you need a true safe haven. And Bitcoin simply isn't a safe haven. It isn't an inflation hedge. It's a pretty lousy store of value if you look at this price decline. And, I've listened to Peter Schiff for a lot of years, and I don't actually agree with him on every point regarding cryptos, but I do listen to him. And I do respect the things he has to say, because he's a really smart economic mind, a really smart financial mind. He knows a lot of stuff. He understands economics really well. He understands financial markets really well. And all these people who just want to dismiss him because he disagrees with them on Bitcoin are really selling themselves short, and they're really screwing themselves over and choosing not to receive information that could have helped them save money, could have helped prevent them from losing money, and did it because of their ego, because they're in a cult and they want to be right, and their entire basis of their social connections and this entire cult is based on the price of Bitcoin going up. And when that fails to be the case and it crashes, you start to realize that actually these guys that you were listening to didn't know everything. And look, Max Kaiser, I think he's a pretty smart guy too. I think he has a pretty good understanding of economics and financial markets, and I listen to him too. I listen to both sides regarding that debate, and personally, I expect the whole crypto market to crash much bigger than what it's already crashed, along with the general stock market, because the Fed's raising rates. There's nothing to support the market. It's a market that's supported by debt and cheap credit. You take that away, the market collapses. It's like there's this balloon, but you need a constant inflow of air to keep it inflated, and you stop that air and the thing deflates. And a lot of people are going to learn a lot of tough lessons, man. I mean, I'm on Twitter. Most of the comments I see, I disagree with. Most of the things people post, I'm like, that's incorrect, that's this. And I can unpack it. I could write you a 3-page report about why it's incorrect. But for the most part, I don't waste my time unless I can break it down into one little snippet. It's like people aren't interested in learning. They're not interested in advancing their understanding, and they want to continue to double down on their same bets, on the same failed strategies. And it's like this just has to play out. Like, reality has to just prove people wrong. Like, I'm not going to go on Twitter and make anyone convince anyone that they're wrong. I have to wait for reality to show its face. You know, all these people who think happiness is something that you can control, that they think, oh, it's just having a positive mindset, it's mind over matter. It's like I told these Bitcoin people last night, you guys should just think positive, and then it'll be up in the morning, right? If that was true. But it's not true. It's just a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of fool's gold. I don't know what the term is. It's bullshit, and you need hope. You need hope that's based in something tangible and actually acknowledges reality. You can't just have hope that's based on a promise someone made you. And a lot of people have a hope based on a promise right now. And sorry to break it to you, but a lot of these promises aren't going to be kept. And whether you're someone who's been listening to these Bitcoin people talking about how it's going to the moon, whether you're someone who's been listening to the vaccine manufacturers and the media tell them that that's safe. I mean, some of the stuff people are doing, I mean, these transgender rallies and shit, where they have Ukraine flags, or the LGBT rallies. It's like, the Ukraine doesn't allow gay marriage. They're not a pro-gay government. And it's bizarre to me that you would dance in the street with these flags just because some jackass on TV told you that's what you need to do. And you look like a damn moron if you're trying to attach gay rights to the Ukraine flag. They have nothing to do with each other. They're antithetical to each other. And, I mean, I really don't care. It's like these people are just, they're going to, nothing good's going to happen. Like, it's like they're just setting themselves up for just like the biggest failure they possibly can. It's like, all I can do is just sit back and watch the fallout and just wait until it gets bad enough that people are willing for some new kind of hope. And, you know, I continue to distribute books. I continue to talk about the solutions to a degree. But most people still don't seem real interested. And, you know, as time goes on and things become more unstable, supply chains continue to break down, the hyperinflation continues. I mean, it's just going to be harder and harder to, like, reset the economy and to prevent this famine and violence from happening. Speaking of violence, you got a couple stupid things going on right now. Again, it's like these people, it's like all they want to do is inspire unrest, division, hatred, and violence. And, you know, they're prosecuting Trump for this supposed insurrection that was just a bunch of fucking boomers showing up to the fucking Capitol unarmed and let in the doors. I mean, with some fucking police officer who just decided to open fire on an unarmed fucking woman. And like, it's like, I honestly, it seems like they just want to incite the right. And I gotta be honest with you, like, these people, again, like, the people are putting the faith in the Bitcoin, some people are putting the faith in the vaccine. A lot of people are putting faith in the government to, like, keep them safe and protect them. And they just seem to entirely lack the comprehension that government's going to be unable to pay its bills. One of the bills it pays is the military, and it's a very large bill. They pay for police, National Guard. All of this requires purchasing power. And if you're going to launch a war against the American people, which if you're trying to take their guns, you are doing. And, I mean, like, it's funny because it's like, I feel like I can't even talk about, like, what people are going to do in response to this without people trying to say that I'm threatening to do it or, like, I'm threatening violence. Like, I'm not threatening violence, but I do recognize that, like, these people are going to form hunting parties. Like, these people are going to hunt you down. They're going to find you wherever you're fucking hiding if you've supported this regime. And they're going to do real bad fucking things to you. Because they really fucking don't like you. A real little bit, even just a fucking minute fucking fraction. They've been foaming at the fucking mouth waiting to get their fucking hands on you for fucking years. They hate you with every ounce of fucking that's in their fucking soul. And it's not going to work out well for you at all. And I'm just going to let you know that right now. Again, I don't expect anyone's going to listen. I expect these incitements and all this to continue. And look, I'm not just talking about the American people that they're inciting. They're continuing to incite Russia. They're continuing to incite China. They're continuing to incite Palestine and the Muslim world. I mean, it's like these people just have an absolute death wish. It's like they just want everyone in the world to hate them and want as bad as possible of shit to happen to them. And then I guess they just want to suffer, and I guess it must just be some kind of self-loathing. And I guess, I mean, to a degree, it must be ego and just, like, they're not even aware of any of this. Like, they think it's cute. They think they're being cute. And it's like, it reminds me so much of my own brief psychosis where I became detached from reality, where I entered my neighbor's car, where I forgot about the rules of, like, the world, and, like, these people are going to have a wake-up call, and it's all these delusions is going to get sucked in. They're going to remember this is reality. They're going to realize this is reality. You're going to go to the store, there's going to be an empty fucking food shelf, you're going to look at your investment account, and I don't care if you own Bitcoin, if you own U.S. stocks and bonds. I mean, I've been telling people to sell their bonds, their stock, I mean, for fucking years, and no one listens to me. No one fucking seems to think I know anything, and yet no one even investigates my fucking claims. People just disappear, they abandon me, they pretend like my perspective just doesn't exist. And it's like, if you actually were right, you could actually refute. It's like this woman that decided, oh, I want to have zero communication with you going forward. Why was that? It was because I questioned her morals, her values. She's talking about loyalty, unconditional loyalty, as this meritorious thing. And I'm just pointing out the obvious truth that, like, every tyrannical regime throughout history has loved unconditional loyalty. And if you give people that, they're gonna fucking abuse you. You can't just let people walk over you. You can't just be unconditionally loyal. People are going to treat you like shit, and obviously this guy wasn't treating her great, or she wouldn't have been fucking acting the way she acted. And obviously he's probably some kind of jealous little fucking guy with a small dick who didn't have the manhood to actually have a conversation with me, or actually say really anything to me, other than just threaten me with government violence, because he's a little pussy shit. And it's obviously the culture in that family. And it's like, you question these people, what they do, they just run away and they hide. But you can hide from me and the words I say, you can't hide from reality. It's going to show up, it's going to smack you in the face, and all this loyalty, all this blind faith, this blind trust people have put in political leaders and all these other stupid institutions, it's going to collapse. And the sooner the fucking better, man. Because the sooner people lose faith in all these stupid ideas and these stupid leaders who have no idea what they're fucking talking about, the sooner real hope can appear. The sooner a real recovery can begin. And the sooner that happens, the easier it's going to be. And probably isn't going to be easy either way, but I guess I have to just believe that God is somehow running this show, or hope that he is. I mean, you know, I see a lot of these promises again. People, oh yeah, God is going to come through and all this. But at the end of the day, it's, does the rubber meet the road, you know? It doesn't do me any good for someone to tell me God's got you, God's going to take care of this. This does nothing for me, because until he actually steps up, he actually shows me something, he actually shows me that he is capable, that he actually does have this. Like he's shown me glimpses to make me think that, like, a better world is possible, but until it actually happens, it's just a hope. And I guess it's a hope I follow because without it, I'm hopeless, right? Like, and I've had some success with staying off alcohol and things like this, and sometimes things do just seem to work out, so I don't know, man. So it's 2 a.m. and Bitcoin is down a ton, and it's funny, like, after it's down like 10%, I'm almost, a part of me is like, wow, maybe I should feel bad for these people. But then like they continue piping up with this just like ego and this dismissal and this cruelty, this bullying, this cult-like bullshit, this groupthink, and it's just like, actually, I wouldn't mind seeing you guys lose the rest of that fucking money, because your egos are just way too fucking big, and they really need to be, you need to be humbled. And reality will humble people, economic reality will humble people, and physical reality will humble people too. Just because they pass some kind of gun legislation doesn't mean people are going to follow it. And you're going to see a real division in this country. You're going to see we'll see what we see. And until then, I guess, take care.